Okay, we're at this shot here, folks, and basically it's repetitive, but it's not really repetitive because when the video's playing, you have to dissect stuff. I want to thank Sechi, everybody in every branch of the military, Navy, Air Force, Army, and Marines, Coast Guard, everything. Okay, leave anything out. I don't apologize, but you guys do a great job. Every branch of the military. Okay, from the spooky house, CIA, FBI, everybody does a great job. Okay. Because otherwise we wouldn't be what we are. So, actual factual here. Every branch of the military I want to thank again. Okay, Sechi, every organization that basically is doing business with the United States of America. And as we see this here, we have Scientific Frontier. Basically, the onion peels are falling off, folks. You see exactly what you see. And you see this is basically a blue background that they end up putting in because basically space is black and then stars and red and purple. You get almost every color of the rainbow you can imagine is in space. Okay? When the stars twinkle, you can see the Orion and the nebula, the Milky Way galaxy here. Okay, that's pretty much there, running along there. And we can see millions of miles in space on these shots, okay? And basically you're looking at what that there in the center should be as I froze it at this spot. And it's repetitive because what I did is I only had it froze where I had it froze at there. Okay? So if you've been watching the last two videos, and if you've been watching all my videos, we've been dissecting everything from Sechi and Soho and anything we can get from the array of Soho satellites and stuff that they put out there. And here we go up and look at Earth. A lot of people, sometimes people look at this for the first time. There's Mercury, Earth, Venus, Jupiter, and we've got Saturn. And it gets repetitive for people that have already watched the videos, but we've got this froze again in a different spot. And we already talked about there's more than likely should be something up there besides Mars because we've seen a real good signature. Now we're going to blow in on this. We'll put this in at 999. We're at the same shot. I haven't left at all. And we can go down and look at the clock too. I froze it at that frame there, area there. Okay? And you can play this thing, it's 24-hour clock. Okay? And there was a time, reason we caught what was going on is they were freezing it for 2 hours, and they were kind of trying to figure out what the heck they were seeing. And I don't know if they had to get approval. It's like, can we air this? Can we put it up on the internet? And stuff like that. So we're going to zoom in on, this is the sun here no matter what. And it should be right there at some point. And then when I go to 999, and what I did is I got the best separation I could, and then we're going to hopefully get enough time in this video too to fast forward it, just to let, or I mean, we don't, just let it play. Okay, so now I'm going to get I-99 in there, and I just do the screen sizing and stuff so that you know that this is what I'm doing to get in on it. Then I move my sliders and stuff, and I get moved over on it. And when I go to magnifying, which is my software here, I go to the magnifier, and right there, I'm getting a little bit of, and I know scatter very well, so supervisory control and data acquisition, big brother, you only control me. So anyway, we get zoomed in on this, and we think we're pretty much going to get the sun. No matter what, we've got the sun, and we've found what it does when with lighting up the space and Earth and whatever else it lights up and illuminates out there. And I don't want to hit that. I want to get to the magnifier because we're at 999. What we're going to do is we're going to zoom in on this. Because basically we think we found separation and what more than likely how it keeps itself. We're going to show you right now a theory that how it keeps itself tied into that star belt that we pretty much in the last 4 videos or so I've showed you, and we back up. Now we can go along here too, and as you see there's planets or stars that are putting off this purple mauve. Now remember the blue background is a filter that they put in to see the stars better, okay, to get them to go white. And then I guess basically somewhat also, I apologize there, and just basically I'm going to get this video so you know that I'm just rawly showing you. It's going to take quite a bit of videos because as much as I'm having to fight SCADA and control here, something's going on, someone does not. I've been mirrored a lot before, so I'm used to it. I know how to mirror somebody when they're watching on a computer and the whole 9 yards. So basically we're zooming in, and it pretty much looks like we've got, because what I did is I got separation to get this gap to open up, okay? And I don't know if you can see it, but what you're gonna, because my pointer don't work with the crap, but there's, as long as I go below it here, there's basically, you got brightness, and you can see you got a star, and you got brightness, and you know you got a star. Now I'm not pointing where they are; they're above my arrow and cursor, way up where it's blue and white. Okay, when I go to magnifier, you can't see around that good. Now, like I was telling you before, it kind of looked like it was dead. Whatever star is this last tubular that's up there, I'm kind of having to do it definition-wise of saying it like basically like a neon light. Okay, and as you see, I don't understand. I've never had red cursor before, and like I know SCADA, so they're trying to pull out all the tricks of not being able to. Basically, we pay our tax dollars, and then this is data that you can freely get off the internet. They don't absolutely have to. It's the government, NASA is, but basically this has been data that. So now all of a sudden we're getting a look at stars. We finally got even a better view than what I had zoomed in on before. So now the sound comes in. I don't know. We'll have to see when my sound worked on this, and this is pretty rough because basically what I just did is I had my microphone up on my head. We'll just have to see how good the sound was coming in. So what I have done, I will go real fast because I want to get this back up and then do another video to try to capture it in a different area. What we have done, and we're going to just zoom in as much as I can right now. I'll take the magnifier all the way up. Bear with me. If the sound just come through and if this is going to end up being that crappy, I'm going to go all the way up to 16, and then I'm going to try to get the magnifier completely out of our way again like I've done in the other videos. And then we're looking at the stars out there. We move in on the solar panel, and we get zoomed in on this here action here. I think this is the sun there, somewhere in here, in that signature as we come down through it. And what I'm going to show you is we're on the satellite, and I'm going to come up. This is the outside. So as I go up and I get the top of that, and then I come back down, we should be going past what it looks like to be a star on the other side. So this is blown up at 1600. Okay, and as I go out, I'll show you the parameter. We got stars, and then this is pretty much what it would look like out in space, because then hopefully we get a star here again in a second. I'll go down, and then basically that's there. You see the green. You get all kinds of colors out there. The yellow, a little bit there. The stars are all kinds of different colors. What they do is they neutralize it and get all these stars to be, and there's pretty much 2 stars in a row there. There's a star out there. And when you go 360 degrees in space, you'll get all kinds of angles real fast by just moving the camera around a little bit. So they're focused in looking on the sun, which is basically in this whole resolution here. As I get up there, and then that's part of the solar panel there. I come down, and I can go all the way to the left. I can find the solar panel. I can find the wall of the picture, and then there's even a star there coming through the solar panel. And I move to the right, and then I have the sun in that solar panel. And as you see, there's a hell of a lot of light gets put off when it does that spread out in gaps. And let me show you what I mean by that real fast. Scoot down, and I'll try to grab the magnifier. Get the magnifier, we'll go down. Boom, 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 come on. Can I get it to go down? I'm wasting it takes a lot of time, but I just want everybody to know that we're looking at the shot. Come on, get down, there we go. I just want everybody to know that we're looking at the shot. So I get the magnifier, I'll even knock the magnifier away. And what I did, I blew in on this. So as you see, lets off a hell of a lot of light, but at the same time, I'm going to bring the magnifier back up. And between that gap, we get, and then we just go boom, boom. And I already had the screen at 999, and you get that in there. Okay, so basically there's a star here. Now this might be in front of the sun. We've proved it a bunch by looking at the core behind on the black and white navy shots enough for that there's plenty of stars that are up. There's plenty of huge stuff that's up by the sun, because we know how big Jupiter is, and the idea there's tons of stuff around the sun on the core shots. And let me bring up a shot like that real fast. So anybody that's in here just looking at this here for the first time, because somebody might have sent you here to look at this, because eventually this is going to catch on scientifically and everything like that. Now, a bunch of people that have worked for NASA and have been on this SOHO project and stuff like that, this is like, they're probably sitting back grinning and laughing and smiling because the truth is finally getting out on this now. So what I'm going to need to do is, let me pop down to the veil is coming off something in space, because the idea that the sun is huge. Okay, don't get me wrong. Okay, now you got Jupiter. Venus looks real big because it's close to the camera. For anybody that's new, that has never been to SOHO or anything like that before, we got Mercury, Earth, Jupiter, and you got the sun right there.
Okay, the sun is pretty much right there for damn sure, and then it does this reaction. And let's do a little bit of play for people. So we hit play, and it should just take off. And I might have to go. We're going at like 2-hour intervals. You see that? It's going 2 hours every time it clicks. 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 4. Okay. It looks like they might have skipped some time. I wasn't paying that too much. Anyway, so that's what we end up getting up there. Did you see that there? Now let me glue in at the 999. And then it's going to be basically, I'll have different for a while. This is so dramatic that we got to keep keeping an eye on this. Because someone's going to try to fearmonger people into the idea, no, it's not the sun, it's something else that's coming towards Earth, and it's the end of days. It's not the end of days. Everything is fine. That is the sun. The veil's coming off, that the idea that for however long NASA's wanted to try, or somebody that was in control of NASA before, was letting us see somewhat of a falsehood of what. Now, it's going to get bent out one way or the other. What I'm doing is setting a trap for anybody, because the idea that there was a physicist that died that worked for NASA that told people that, and somebody didn't want anybody to know that the idea that there's basically 3 stars that we rotate around, okay? And it basically looks like these 3 stars basically blink back and forth at each other, and somehow we get that sun ray, that light gets down to us within 32 minutes or something like that it takes for the sun to get here or something. The light off the sun, it's all light curvature. Okay, so no matter what, we're getting a good view through a solar panel on a satellite, which is this is basically A, right? Basically just scoop down, and how you tell that if no one's ever been here before is this is H12A, yeah, so this is ahead NASA, and they have B, and then we got some other ones that are scheduled to go up too. So we are watching this at 2-hour intervals, and we get even a better view of that there is something that they have not been being honest with us about, because basically the massive amount of space that you're looking there is like, if I can just compare enough, with Venus blown up right now, because the idea is so close, there's what Jupiter looks like in size, and Venus looks bigger than Jupiter, which it's not right now because it's so close. If you can imagine that being Jupiter, and then imagine how many millions of miles this is in space, and then they are basically, you can see the size difference of, and I apologize, but basically I'm trying to get back to finding R. You get really disoriented a little bit when you blow up too much, and then I didn't get over far enough, and then come down, and I'll get the solar panel on the satellite, and there you go. That solar panel normally blocks it it helps the idea that they can actually shoot and see the sun, and then we get tons of beautiful footage from them too. Sachi, Soho, everything, LASCO, Navy, all the branches of the military. We get great shots, and we're getting a great shot of this here right now. So basically, you've seen the dates and the time and the satellite we're on and everything like that. Now, I can take you to, and we'll just get a little bit of a blow up on it, and as you can see, pretty much more than likely Mars, and like I was showing in the other videos, looks like more than Mars up there, because you see more than one magnetical over here, and you really get a good shot there of it. It looks like there's a magnetical there between the sun and whatever's on the outside. So anyway, that's the sun. Okay, the comprisement of the sun. In whatever, if they were studying, they're looking at the biggest thing and it's part of the sun, and they're not telling us that the idea that there's light coming off a couple other stars in line up there. They need to come clean on this. The idea that somehow there was somebody that was employed at NASA for many, many years, or scientists somewhere in the scientific community. Either that or they actually zoom in more than this, and they zoom in right on that. And let me show you what they always have. I'll just show you a Navy shot real fast. So the idea, they zoom in more than what we think they zoom in, because they and basically it would be nice to start showing shots that they don't layer that much, and maybe they could start explaining exactly how they lay all this stuff out in layers and everything like that and make these movies, because that's what we got in this. It's behind a solar panel, but you can see that stuff that's going on, and it sure looks like that's probably just the sun right in the middle node, because I know when I'm on zoomed up here like this, that basically you can't see my pointer where the crap, so it's the middle node is that we're figuring there's pretty much got to be the sun. That's what they zoom in on. I keep saying that I'm going to go down and show you a picture, so here we go. And I'll make sure out of this, boom, boom, boom. And I'm figuring